Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you all tuning in. If you can take a quick second, click the subscribe button below, and at the end of the video, if you enjoyed it, maybe click that like button for me. But today, working on the valve covers for the Hemi that we have. I have a weird issue that I'm trying to resolve. These valve covers have no way to put oil in them. Every time we try to do an oil change, or say we've drained a bunch out of the puke tank and we want to add some oil to it, I have to actually take the entire breather piece off of here. These valve covers are made of magnesium, and magnesium is not easily weldable. You can weld magnesium, but magnesium is also, when it burns, it creates its own oxygen. So if it takes off and starts on fire, you're not putting it out and the whole thing's gonna burn up, and it burns very, very hot. So we want to figure out a way to do that. Now, I had the idea we could drill a big hole, tap it, put like a big 1-inch pipe plug in there. That's all right. I mean, it would work, but it's a pain in the butt to try to do anything at the racetrack that way. So I found All-Star Performance makes this very handy little filler cap. All right, so if you're, say you're making, or you have a container you want to add a filler cap to, but you maybe don't have a welder, all right, this is a great solution. It is O-ringed on the bottom, and then it comes with the bolts and nuts and everything right here. Well, since this is a thick cast magnesium, I'm actually going to get our hole lined up. We're gonna make this fit, but then we're going to drill and tap the actual valve cover for the bolts, so we can go all the way in, go from underneath, make it nice and flush, and then we should have a nice little filler cap, so we can, you know, top off oil and things like that. So you can see here we have our base is what we're going to call this. This is going to be our base, and this will be, we'll call the cap. So base and cap goes together, threaded. We have the O-ring there. This is also an O-ring here. So we're going to have a nice seal. The issue that I'm seeing is that this hangs over the edge. You see how right down here hangs off, and we're not going to be able to get everything on there. So we're going to need to mill this just a bit to where those bolt holes kind of are right here, flat. Try to move this up a bit. That way we can get it in position and then mark where we need to make our hole. But let's go ahead and get this over into the vise right here and get it set up so we can mill everything flat here and try to suck that up a little bit better. Okay, so we've removed the vise, got our valve cover up here, and just like that, look at that, it fits. But we have the issue of a gap. So we may need to see how thick this is and see if we can come down into this and make this nice and squared just where this needs to come up as well. I never said this was going to be an easy job, so let's go ahead and maybe take a look and see what we can do there. I'm going to measure a couple things, see how close we can get this. Is out here far enough, and then we mill this flat. Is there going to be enough room for that, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at a couple of things here and then come back with an idea. So I forgot to hit the record button there, so I was just talking the whole time to myself. That's always cool. But we got this milled out here, so that now we can butt that up against there nice and flat, and the O-ring is going to hit under here. Let's go ahead and take this off, and we'll get a better look there, and then we'll be able to mark out our holes, get everything so it's going to line up correctly. and get the hole drilled through this. That way, we'll be ready to put some oil in the engine. We measured the inside of this, and this is to where the O-ring is, 1.5 inches. And now inside here is a little bit smaller. We traced everything on here and zeroed it on here. This is 1.25 inch hole saw. Using a drill chuck and a hole saw on here, they're not always the most accurate, perfectly round. You know, it might have a little bit of wiggle on there. So that's why we went with a smaller hole saw to give us that little bit of extra wiggle room on there. So that way we don't mess up where our O-ring is going to seal. We're going to drill the hole first, then mount this down so that way we can center it over that hole in case this isn't perfect. There we go. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit better and get this off of here. We'll get it over onto the workbench and start lining everything up and show exactly how well that is matched up. We still need to drill the mounting holes. We will put a little bit of RTV down just as a secondary, you know, instead of just the O-ring. We'll have that little bit of extra insurance on there. But so far, I'm really liking that. That's warm. Don't touch that. Still warm. Let's take a look here. Let's grab the flashlight. I already have it kind of keyed up. Okay, so we have a little bit we could probably grind out and do everything there, but we're also gonna have a really good O-ring seal. So I don't want to mess up too much of it. This is already pretty flat. We're gonna use, this was just barely, as you can see, just barely missed it with the with that. So this is a flat surface, and that O-ring is gonna be enough there. Like I said, I'm gonna put a little bit of RTV around this, probably some Right Stuff, just to make sure that that's gonna be good to go. We'll deburr this because it has a little bit of a ledge there, same as underneath. If you take a look down in here, see how there's some marks. There's actually a brace that goes right there, and we just missed that brace. I was super smart and didn't look at that. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna set up the camera so you can see this. We're going to get this piece on here. I'm gonna use some transfer punches. So I'm gonna drill it by hand, then we'll tap it, put the screws in, and just then do a kind of a final cleanup and get this ready. So. We have it sealed, everything is on there. We can take our cap off. Now we have to do a final clean on these because we've got chips everywhere, and that's completely understandable. But it's all sealed up inside here. It fits, there's no leaks. We actually could see the RTV that we put out here. It squished all the way around. Some was on the inside here as well. And we could see it squishing out here. So we know that it's sealed up good. We put a little bit of Loctite on each of the screws just to keep it nice and sucked down. So this should basically be a permanent deal. And now we have a great billet cap. We can go ahead and do that. And now we can do way easier oil changes. Let's get to a couple other things. So, since it is fall, we are taking, we're doing a few things. Like we've got the engine block already sent out. The engine block is at Brad Anderson Engineering, and they've already pulled one of the sleeves out where we kind of windowed the block, as you guys saw before, and they're going to do a repair. We ordered pistons from Gibtech. Now, Gibtech makes billet pistons. So when those come in, we're definitely gonna show you guys everything on that. Our hope is to have everything back in-house here, ready to go, and assembled over Thanksgiving weekend. That gives us a little over a month to get everything back. So we are so far on track. We do have a few things we have to buy, and we're gonna have a couple of videos on that as well. Behind me, I'm a whiteboard guy. You guys have seen this many times. This is our initial list of things we need to do to get ready for South Georgia Motorsports Park. We are going back down to Georgia in February. We will be running Radial versus the World. A few other things we have on here. We have to order rod bearings, main bearings, the head gaskets. We're going to inspect them, see if we can reuse them or if we have to order another set. The head gaskets come from Clark right here in Minnesota. We've got our fuel system that we have to service everything on there. All of this. I mean, we have a new oil pan that we have to use because the old one got a big old hole in it. I have to send my Hans in for a recert because every 5 years you have to do that. We are coming up on our 1,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much for, you know, you're watching videos, you like videos, you're commenting. I absolutely appreciate every little bit of that. It's awesome to see. And we always do a giveaway. So when we hit 100, we did a giveaway. I think when we did 500, we did a giveaway. When we hit 1,000, we're gonna do another giveaway. Let us know, you know, a couple of things on here. One, what would you like to see us give away? Within reason, not giving away our car, okay? But, you know, if you want some parts from the car from this last year, we could possibly do that. Maybe you plan on coming down to South Georgia, or you guys want to come to South Georgia and we get you a ticket into the race. Come hang out in the pit, you know, another possibility there. So let us know in the comments below, what should we do for our 1,000 subscribers? How about that billet crank that we cracked into 3 pieces? Maybe we weld that back up and we send a welded up billet crank back out to someone. Also, let us know, like on this list here, if there's something on the car that we're going to be doing and you want us to do a special on that or have an episode specifically for that, let us know. I will make sure that we have a video on that, all right? We do like to teach on this channel. It's one of the things that we get a lot of comments on for explaining things, and I had to learn it at some point, and my father had to learn it at some point. Al did. So we want to make sure that you are able to learn something as well, not just us going, hey, look at the cool stuff we do. So what should we do for our 1,000 subscriber giveaway? And what do you want to see us do for our, you know, maintenance and rebuilding of the car before we go to Georgia? Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Until next time, guys, be safe out there.